We're speaking to Mike Donaghy from MNV Consulting. Mike, can you tell us a little bit about the organisation you work for?
Yes, there's about 17 of us based in Callander in Scotland. We specialise in hydrology, small hydro, flood management, river gauging, anything like that. But in recent years, we've become very, very closely involved in this new pioneering method of flood management using natural characteristics of a river. We call it natural flood management.
And is that was that the main subject of the presentation you made here at the conference today?
Yes, it was. What I was really explaining and trying to present to the audience, and remember I'm talking to an expert audience, is how working with the natural processes and characteristics of a river, and that can be floodplains or wet woodlands or wetlands, whatever, meanders in the river, restoring those gives you additional benefits. It can cut down the flood risk in areas which are flood prone, but also bring you benefits from a biodiversity and amenity, groundwater recharge. So there's all sorts of good reasons to do this. It's also extremely cheap.
So essentially what you have been doing is sharing of your expertise. Do you think that that is the primary function of this conference, to exchange best practice, just for experts, as you said, to share information?
Yes, I do, and that's why I was very happy and proud to be invited to come and speak. Now the responsibility is on the people who have attended to go and talk to other experts about what's happening. There is no point in just turning up and listening and going away. We must spread this information.
Can we ask the particular type of expertise you have? Does it pertain specifically to the type of landscape and topography that you have in Scotland? If so, where could those ideas be implemented elsewhere in Europe?
No, it doesn't just pertain to Scotland. River processes are river processes are river processes. It doesn't matter if it's the Rhine or if it's the River Lee or it's the Tay. The processes are the same. It's just the scale changes. And also, if you've got somewhere like the Danube, you've got 19 countries working around the Danube. So there's a lot more organisation has to be done. But no, it's about your approach. It doesn't really matter. It can be done anywhere. Of course, there will be local specialities. If you go down to the Mediterranean, it gets very, very dry. But if you go up into the Alps or up into Finland or Sweden and Scotland and Ireland, it gets very wet.
Talk to us about directives, the Water Framework Directive and the Floods Directive. Specifically, how are they progressing from your perspective?
Well, from my perspective, and I will speak here of Scotland, and Scotland isn't a member state, it's part of a member state. It's progressing extremely well. We were the first, one of the first countries to transpose the WFD. We're actually, I think, the first to do the Floods Directive too. And we took the opportunity to modernise our legislation in Scotland and make both pieces of European legislation work together in Scotland.
And in the years to come, do you think that can be a good basis for other countries to try and adopt similar measures?
Yes, of course. I mean, we didn't do this to try and teach other countries. We did this because we thought it was the best way to do it. But this whole day is about learning from best practice. And if you think that what we're doing in Scotland is best practice and that the things that MNV Consulting are doing are good, then come and talk to us or emulate us, do whatever you like.
In the coming years, what obstacles or difficulties do you think that the different member states or regions will encounter in trying to implement these directives, given the changing context, particularly in relation to climate change?
Yes. I'm not sure what they'll do to change, because both of these directives were produced in the background of the pressures from things like climate change and climate change adaptation. But what they do is give you very powerful legislative tools to go and deal with climate change and the various other pressures we have, because of course people still need to live somewhere, so there are all sorts of planning pressures too, and it's about getting that balance, and the secret to that is to use your catchment as your unit.
Mike Donaghy, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.